Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Levine Grader. This is another edition of Mountaintop Musings, only it's night, and I'm not on a mountaintop for full disclosure. I'll tell you why in a second. So I've been reading a fascinating article this past week's New York Times Magazine about how injured parrots are helping wounded veterans with PTSD. You should check it out, it's interesting. But the woman who's doing this said something fascinating. Parrots are mimicking animals. That's how they feel safe, to mimic their group. And she said that she thought if there's God, then God's a parrot. Because we want God to be mimicking what we're doing. If we're loving, and God's loving. If we're hating, God's hating. And she said, I think if there's a God, God's a parrot. And that's actually a Kabbalistic teaching, that if we do something below, it can affect something in the divine realm of the same quality. If we're loving, there's loving. If we're hating, there's hating. And I'm thinking a lot about inequality, and that's why I'm here, not on the mountain, but in an alleyway, behind a store, in a nice little town, because I imagine it's a good place for a homeless person maybe to sleep. And if our society accepts that, then I think there's just a huge, huge awakening that needs to happen. And I'm thinking about that right now because this week in the Torah, Mishpatim, it's all about laws. We're not on the mountaintop. We have to make society work for everyone. We have to empower our society to take care of those who are the most weak, the most vulnerable, who need the most help. That's what laws are supposed to do, protect people. So I ask us to think, and I don't know if we'll all agree with me, to say that the laws are not working in this country for a lot of people. We might think they're laws, but they're discriminatory laws for minorities, for homeless people, for veterans. There's supposed to be one law for people. That's what Scripture says, for all people, the rich, the poor, the strong, the weak, the resident, the stranger. One law. And so when billionaires are protected and it's all good, and I'm at a city council meeting with friends watching a 13-year-old girl beg for her mother to be able to get a living wage, something's wrong with the laws and the structure in our society. So I invite you to think about that, and that if we call out to God, why is there so much war? Why is there so much hatred? How can we end it? Maybe God's saying the same thing back. Why are you always fighting? Why are you always using war? Why is there hatred and racism and bigotry and anger? Why isn't there love and compassion, generosity and goodness of spirit? Maybe if we started down here, we'll get some reflection in that mirror. God will parrot what we're doing. Can only hope. Thanks for listening. Bye.